Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. This is our free YouTube video. I'll try and keep it 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, right. Good luck. I'll try. But the funny thing is, when I do the really short, quick ones, you guys are like, oh, that sucks. Oh, I want more, man. So I don't know. I was a little ranty this morning, man. I've seen a lot of things in our society that are just pissing me off day after day after day. They just keep happening. Thought it was interesting, actually. One of our principals, Julian, informed me that Americans just got another big free $1,400 check in the mail this month, and I guess that's going to go on through the summer. So more dog money, dog money, dog money, dog money. The interesting thing about the altcoin market right now is I wouldn't even get into the business of predicting which coin is going to pop next. They're all popping so randomly. I suppose if there is any fundamental driver, maybe pay attention to that. What I think, and I've seen this year in, year out with crypto, and it's also to a certain degree with the stock market, same thing. If we hear about new listings on public platforms like, I suppose, Coinbase and Gemini, I'm not quite sure how Gemini plays into this. Remember, we used to say that name a lot. I'm not quite sure how that goes, but Robinhood apps getting cryptocurrencies on them. Oh, goodness. Anyway, point of the matter is we're in the type of environment where things can pop right, left, and center. Of course, we've got a big social orgy event with Mr. Wonderful on Saturday, tomorrow, with Dogecoin. Looks like the odds of me having to officially change my name are diminishing by the hour. Phew. I kind of didn't. To be honest with you, it's a real pain in the ass to change your name in this world. So I really don't want to have to do that. But I'm a man of my word, and I said something really stupid like, "Oh, I'll change my name to Sedona Euphoria if Doge closes above $2." So I do believe that they want to take it up to $1, maybe even $1.25 if we're lucky. But I don't know whether it can actually close out above $2. But I'll tell you this much: if it does, I'm a man of my word. I will be selling my bags, and I will be, I guess, having to pay a lot of admin fees to driver's licenses, bureaus, and stuff. I don't know. What am I going to do about my passport? Can you actually change your name on a passport? I don't know. Anyway, I suppose, hey, we could have a lot worse things to be complaining about and, fretting and stuff. So, worrying about, oh, gee whiz, I happen to make a lot of money. And I suppose there's worse things we can be worried about. I suppose the question is, how many of those $1,400 stimmy checks are going to go into bidding up Dogecoin to that $2 level? Because it's going to take a bit of buying. I mean, that would mean that the market cap of that thing would go up in the billions. So a big chunk of those $1,400 checks, how many checks do we have to get up to 20, 30, 40, 50 billion market cap? Now, I spent a lot of time with the good people in the broadcast today, really driving home this idea. For God's sakes, do not chase. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. There are plenty of names that are just sitting right at the bottom end of the range that if you do nothing more than just, buy it and sell at the 50% retracement of its most recent range, I mean, geez, that's like 10, 20x. You don't have to chase this kind of market, but what you really have to do is you got to do the research, and you got to go and find the ideas that are Wing out. So, and I think it's really important also too that just because I say I can't buy an asset, that doesn't mean I'm not a fan and I don't like the story. So, something like Doge, I mean, The problem with Doge now is it's turned into like a commercial shill. So ironically enough, from a pure cryptocurrency perspective, I wouldn't like Doge. I'd say it's like totally corrupt. It is corporate America. It's actually probably the number one reason why you guys actually built cryptocurrencies to begin with, is you basically wanted to give a finger to corporate America. And here comes corporate America bidding it up. And what is the public doing? The public's getting all fucking rah circle jerky around Mr. Musk and, Snoop Doggy and Gene and all that shit. So, ironically enough, it's such a great analogy of the hypocrisy of this space as well. And I think I even told you there was an article recently about an original principal in Doge, and she left. She was like, man, I do not like what's happening here with this place. It is turning into a corporate bullshit. And there's gonna, sadly, you can actually see the bag holders being established now. And you want to see a perfect analogy of that was Verge last cycle. The exact same thing. No difference whatsoever. Well, maybe that's not the best place to show you. XVG. Maybe it was versus Bitcoin. I can't remember. Anyway, when I was trading it on Tracks, right? Boom. Right? It's the exact same image. It's the exact same thing. No difference. Problem is, even on this move, bag holders being established. This coin here in this particular move, of course, they were getting heavily into the porn industry. At that point, they always say that the porn industry is on the cutting edge of technology because they want their customers' money, and they will do things like, seamless transactions and stuff. The easier and faster to get Joe Sixpack to take that wallet off his hip pocket and spend some money. The porn industry is highly attuned to that. So, point here is that on this shill, you got to force yourself, for God's sakes, don't buy here. And, do crazy things like maybe draw reload zones and say, all right, well, if I am really interested in this thing, I got to force myself to work my bids down here. And you can see that doink right into reload zones. Here comes a W. This, if you're interested in Doge right now, this is actually what you have to be looking for. Don't come in and buy here, you doofuses. The sad part about it, of course, is that the people that do watch these videos, you're not doofuses. You're actually smart people. And you're like, Brian, don't call me a doofus. I wouldn't buy here. But I can tell you, even now, the damn thing is trading away. So that means somebody is actually coming in and buying here. Idiots. Oh, well, what can you do? And as I said earlier, like I kind of think that there's probably a pretty big brick wall up here at $1. But hey, and real moonshots up to $1, $1.25, $1.30 or so. But hey, you want to take it up to $2 here, get it to close up in these foggies up here. I'll be more than happy to sell all the rest of my coins. And like I said, I'll be moving to Georgia, and I will be changing my name to Sedona. And sadly, this is basically the crypto market right now. It's a little bit stupid. That's funny how I said that. Yesterday, this is such a great analogy. Yesterday, whoops, what did I put in here? ETC USD. This little bad boy came to life. Boom. Interesting how it banged right into foggies. So if we could get up kind of like what ETC did here. Now notice it didn't close up here, right? It zipped up and away. Often on these absolute insane foggy levels, you get this violent price action, quick rejection. But what a great analogy of the current market state. If I understand correctly, this coin was open to Robinhood people, and woohoo! Did they ever FOMO in hard? The only problem is you can't buy that now. It's gone. So there's your market state. And we can, it's funny, I even put together the Shitcoin Challenge 5,000, and some of these are taken off. Like Kevin was telling me this Furo. He just did you get a double off on this thing today, or was it just recently? I don't know whether he
Yeah,
said
today.
today. I mean, look at
Yeah,
that.
or overnight.
Damn. You see the W. Learn this, people. This isn't rocket science. And there's the end result. You had something else you added there, Kevin? I cut you off. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying it was like overnight or early this morning, something like that.
No. Congratulations.
Courtesy of
Nice work,
Shark
sir.
Toshi.
Sharktoshi.
Yeah, that was
He
his
gave
idea.
you that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see them on www by the something, 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 something. I think you guys know how that goes. So get out there and have some fun. If anything, man, this is the crypto market that we've been waiting for the past couple of years. Um, with regard to the broader market, we do have that big tax deadline coming up in the States next week, I guess the end of next week. Also, too, we had some employment data numbers that came out today. And in a weird sort of way, I get the impression we're in the kind of market, and you've never heard this before, write it down. Sometimes you can be in the market where good news is good news. Like, hey, companies earned a lot of money, or the economy is roaring, and hey, stock market goes roaring higher. Ironically enough, sometimes we can be in an environment where good news is bad news. Oh, everything's roaring, new jobs, rock and roll, and yet the market goes down. Why? Well, people are worried that now the Fed's going to start raising interest rates and they're going to bring the party to an end, and asset prices were already overextended. So that's sort of a good news is bad news scenario. Sometimes you're going to have a situation where bad news is good news. And that's actually what I think is going on here. Because currently, I get the impression that we're in an environment where things will keep going up in price as long as the government keeps throwing free money at people. This is a classic 1941, 1861, probably even 1781, and even 1701, 1621. 1541, probably you can go back, like millennia. Point here is through these windows, you often get command economies. The consumer driven economy disappears, and you get these sort of pockets where everything is government run, government dictated, government directed. And that's exactly what this feels like. So, in this scenario, I get the impression if the market wants to go higher, it needs more inflation talk. It needs more free money. It needs more stimmy checks. Well, you're not going to get that if the economic data is actually pretty strong. Because then the more sensible people in government go, well, why do we keep stimulating? The economy's pretty strong. Everything's fine. However, if you have poor economic data, then the people that are promoting more, bullshit, free money, MMT nonsense, they get further ammunition, and people who are voting in political circles go, yeah, you know what, the economy's kind of crappy. Yeah, we should probably get some more free money. So I think this is a scenario where bad news is good news. So we had a pretty shitty employment report come out today. And interestingly enough, the knee-jerk reaction is to sell off the US dollar. I don't know whether I really believe that, because what I think's happening here is they're just we've talked about this gap needing filling for a while. And we're now back down against the trend line. I do like the idea that this is sort of a sell the news event. I think the market was kind of anticipating this. The only question is, do we now actually start emming out below this trend line? If we do, then actually those are pretty nasty sell signals. Right here, actually, I like this as sort of a pivot low. It was interesting to see the oil market was threatening to top out. It kind of stabilized through that. The stock market actually caught a bid, and interesting, you can see the small caps are trying to paint an inside bar against previous lows here. Might actually get a nice little buy signal in the small caps there. And of course, good old crypto, shitcoins, altcoins, Doge money, all that kind of nonsense. They pushed to new highs here today. And the corn, I think at some point the corn goes, hey, enough is enough. I'm supposed to be driving the bus here. And the corn actually flipped over. Looked the other day like it was in some trouble. And it was going to sort of explore down here what I thought would happen into tax season. But on sort of Doge money, Julian telling us another $1,400 check just arrived in his mailbox. Whole sort of stock market risk market just lifted. Why? Well, because now Joe Biden's whole sort of 1 point whatever trillion dollar stimulus plan, it's got legs again because today's employment report was so poor. So there you go. It's interesting to see the bonds initially rallied, but I got a feeling that that was actually the end of a bit of a move. I also noticed too, gold jumped up right up against this channel peak and then kind of stalled out. So I still think that there's a lot of sort of ahead of that tax filing deadline in the States, sell into strength kind of idea, got to pay the bills. So any rip roaring out of control rallies are kind of tempered right now. And ironically enough, the only place that actually is seeing sort of runaway bull markets are things like Ethereum. And this is, in my opinion, still a bet on DeFi and on yield farming. I mean, fuck, if U.S. Treasury is going to pay you nothing to hold paper, I heard that I don't know whether it's a country or a corporation in Europe floated like a 2-year bond on the Ethereum blockchain the other day. It's like, holy Jesus, you don't see that every day. So, I mean, it makes economic sense to me. Does it make rational sense to come in and invest in Ethereum here? Of course not. There are people in social circles, of course, who said that they go, sell your house and load up on Ethereum. I'm never going to tell you to do something like that. That's just it's a little bit immature in asset management. It is what gamblers do, and okay, fine, if you're a gambler, gamble away. And this is also another analogy. It's not necessarily like I'm negative on Ethereum. I mean, I like Mr. Vitalik. I think he's done great work for the industry. It's funny watching. He's probably one of the only guys who could actually insult Craig Wright to his face and get away with it, which he did. So I don't have anything against Mr. Vitalik. And hey, I'm long a lot of this shit. So you want to keep taking prices up? Fine. But can I be a buyer of that asset there? No. Well, you know that. Simple as that. I don't know whether I really want to sell too much of this stuff. A guy like, what was his name? Chico Crypto. His name's Tyler? I can't remember. Oh, by the way, Kevin, I don't know whether you noticed, but the public video that we did the other day, it had the comments turned off. So if you could maybe just make sure the comments are on for this. So the people who are watching this, if you know what his name is, remind me. I'll give you an opportunity to interact with me too. I think his name's Tyler. I'm not sure though. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, Crypto Chico, he said if you own 32 Ethereum, then pretty much you should be set for the rest of your life. So I kind of want to just hold on to my Ethereum and just not bother doing anything with it. I wonder what price it has to go for me to consider changing my name. I don't know. The irony of it all is that people made a lot of the analogies of Ethereum with Bitcoin last cycle. That's this kind of thinking. I don't see any reason why Ethereum can't be like 20 G's by the end of this. That's still another 10x ish. Well, I guess 5x ish from where we are right now. And Mr. Wu's forecast of 300, 200, 300,000 Bitcoin at the end of this. That wouldn't surprise me. What's kind of cool is to see all the little ones that have just been absolutely dormant. And most of sort of the people in the public will tell you you're an idiot for buying them. Seeing these things come back to life. So it just goes to show that what's going on here is a massive rotation in the marketplace. And assets that were basically thrown out are now getting repriced. And it happens in the business. And I think I showed you one, that XVG. No, what was it? XDN, right? It's a total piece of crap. I don't know whether I showed this or not in this public video or not. But here's a great example. Gaps to the upside, 50% rules. This thing's at what, 12 sats, 320 sats. You do the math. You want to make money from this? It's up to you. Not telling you what to buy, couldn't care. In fact, the only thing I really care about is I just like you to learn good behavior in the market. So speaking of behavior, we do have a new school term coming up here shortly. So if you want to learn what good sort of, sound principles of money management are, feel free to pop on our site. Maybe give our course a ponder. Read some of the testimonies. I mean, gee whiz, they read just like butter. And of course, get ready for some fireworks because the rest of 2021, oh my goodness, this is going to be crazy in this space. And let's see how many houses we can buy for Liam. That's the goal. Got to get my boy set up for the rest of his life and well supported. And I don't know whether you know how much houses in Vancouver cost, but it's just stupid, the price inflation here. So I got to go make me some money from trading. Let's get this quacker to, what is that, 12 right now? Up to 320 is just a 50% rule. That's, what is that, 10? That's 20. That's 30x off of these levels. So technically that means that if I put, 10 G's into this, that would be 320,000 on the other side. No, is that right? Something like that. I think that's doable. And actually, I gave my TRI's CTO a challenge. I said, you put 10 G's into this, I bet you go buy yourself a nice little Porsche sports car that he's had his eye on forever. I think you could go buy it with that. But I don't really care whether you buy it. Really, if anything, this should be just simply a good demonstration. Make a note of this in your journal, in your notes, and let's just see what happens into early 2022. If nothing comes of it, well, hopefully it's good edutainment. If something does come of this and we hit these upside objectives, then maybe next cycle you'll be like, okay, I remember that clown did this last time when these long channels look like this and the damn thing starts Wing out. Well, maybe I'll go throw $100 at this and see if I can do something along the same lines. Okay, there's your rant. Sure hope you enjoyed that. We got dog money coming up here this weekend, so should be an interesting broiler chickens nonetheless. And we'll see if Sedona's hosting the broiler chicken show, eh? If that's the case, it's going to be broiler chickens hosted by Sedona Euphoria. I'll be more than happy to change my name if they want to take it up and close it up above $2. Great, fine, awesome. I'll sell into that. But I'm not holding my breath. But let's see what happens. All right, everybody. I don't know whether I really gave you much value here today. I sure hope I did. Poop coins pushing higher, Sedona Euphoria. Crypto, trying to press higher. Stocks, stimmy checks. Good news. Bad news is good news. Pressing higher. If anything, the only one that's being sacrificed today is the US dollar index. All right. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. PMA for the win. All the best and bye for now.